Oh, hello everyone. I hope we are live and I hope you can hear me. I know it's about a minute, a little bit too late, but let's get started. Apologies for, again, technical difficulties. If you can hear me, please comment in the comments that you can hear me. Otherwise, well, if you don't, I'm hoping somebody's commenting that they don't hear me. Anyway, one of the two. Okay, yeah, we hear you. Woohoo! We are live. Okay, so what are we doing today? We are continuing with our piece. If you remember, this piece was from last Wednesday. We did it. We filled an entire page. This is an A4 page. It's quite big. And we made the design. No sketching required. It's just drawing out of memory and out of what you remember that this was like. So why did I want to watercolor it? Just because, well, I already have the design. Oh, hello Adriana, hello Laura, hello everyone. Oh, Marlena, also hello. Lots of hearts there, Marlena. Thank you for the hearts and thank you for everything. So I just wanted to color this one in because I want to make a few more designs that I enjoy, and especially with these flowers. Actually, I realized that these flowers and these kind of arrangements are my favorite flowers. And I don't know about you, but yeah, my favorite flowers. So let's get started. I am actually using the shadow colors again. So these are the shadow colors. These are shadow pink, shadow yellow, shadow purple, etc. And these are the black colors. So reddish black, greenish black, purplish black. So I'm gonna use these ones to color in this particular one. Just to get started, the watercolor paper is Archie's 300 GSM cold press paper. So it has a bit of tooth, it has a little bit of structure. I'm not yet using the the hot press paper. I will have a video because this is what I've been doing, let's say, in the last minute. I'm going to start and then I'm going to we're just going to discuss things. So what have I been doing in the last week? Actually, funny enough, I think I filmed quite some videos because I wanted to do quite some content. So I filmed about 7 videos already. So filmed I did. Some of them I edited. I have not added any. So we're gonna start with the blue. We're gonna be very bold. We're gonna start with blue. I have not started any voiceovers because that takes quite some time. What I wanted to do is to actually, you know what? I never done a peony that is blue. So let's start peony. we always wanna do that, right? Or should I? Okay, I'm a bit scared of how it's gonna look like. I think the anemones are nice and blue and they're gonna look nice if we do them. I might break out my graphite tint because I have a graphite tint watercolors, because those are also muted colors and they're really nice. Wow. The problem with this flower is that it's so tiny that I'm not sure I did the correct thing. Too much color. I didn't want that much color. Okay, these colors are really strong, so it's always good to maybe use a bigger flower for this color. So I filmed them, I edit them, which also takes quite some time. And then I decided not to do yet voiceover. I will do that in the coming week. Turns out, well, making live stream is pretty easy, I would say, because you just need to set up and just do it. Actually recording videos and edit them and making them short enough for people to watch, that is requiring a lot more time. I do enjoy it though, so yeah, I'm going to be doing them. It took me quite a while to decide what type of content I wanted to do. I'm not necessarily very big on tutorials, so it's just gonna be pretty much commentary on supplies and stuff like that. I'm not yet confident enough that, you know, I'm a tutorial person. I just want to inspire, and that we talk about things like, why do I hate hot press watercolor paper, or you know, how to approach a big piece like this. So that's what I've been doing. It has been really wonderful weather, and yesterday I had the plan of actually doing a lot, but yesterday was such a nice weather. Was I think 16 degrees yesterday, so because I've been cooped up in the house for so long, I decided to go out for a walk, and in the end we decided to go out for a walk around the lake, which, because they are constructing all around the lake, it turned out into a 9-kilometer walk. And when I got home, my feet were just destroyed, so I could barely walk anymore, and I crashed. I think I was like laying on the couch when I came, didn't even eat, and then I just fell asleep. Walking for 9 kilometers sounds a lot, and it is a lot. So, you know, I'm gonna have to make sure next time that I take a, let me see if I can lift. Now, this is a good thing to do sometimes, is to lift color. And then I use just a tissue paper, and I'm just lifting, especially from the tops of the petals, because I don't want it to be so dark. I want the petal to be dark. Anyway, so what did we find on our adventure? We found out that a lot has changed since I last went around the lake. Now apparently they're installing a gondola. Don't know if you guys know. It's like they're installing this sort of cable cars that will go around the, I will add white later on, that will go above the lake to the island in the middle. So in the middle of the lake we have an island, which is really cool island, but it's a bit inaccessible. So now they're just making cable cars, so you can take a cable car and go to the middle of the island, and that was not there last time we went for a walk, like a couple of months ago. It's amazing how fast these guys are just moving. Yeah. Not that I complain. I always wanted to go and visit the island, so it will be nice. They are preparing for something called the Floriade, which is a flower show that happens every, I don't know how many years, 8 years or something. And people all around the world will come, and they're expecting it to happen next year. So yeah, they have big expectations. So that's why they are preparing the island. The island is going to be the center of attention. And they've actually, what was interesting is they've planted a lot of trees, because it's actually going to be one big botanical garden kind of show. And they planted all these trees, which is super nice. But I've never seen trees planted that are already big. So they had a kind of a nursery of trees to the side road, where would be the trees that they still haven't maybe put in there. And those trees were very tall, and they were in this big rounded pots, which I didn't know that they could have pots that are as big as needed for this kind of things, you know. No, not, I don't want shadow purple, I want shadow pink. I want some pinkish thing here. Yeah, so excited about it. Exciting that they are moving. They're also building a bridge towards the island, which is going to be a bike bridge, which is nice always to have a bike bridge. they are actually on the last pylon. So yeah, they're moving extremely fast. I was not expecting that. So this is what I get for not getting out of the house for months. Don't know about you guys, but I didn't really get out of the house, especially with the lockdown and everything. I am a bit scared of going out to the house and doing anything. So this was the first time that I actually managed to get out. I mean, except the supermarket, but the supermarket is pretty close by. I just need to bike, not even 5 minutes. So that doesn't count. Going to the supermarket does not count of us going out of the house, okay? Because you're out, you're at the supermarket, and you're back, right? So yeah, it's really nice to see that there's still developments happening, even though we are in lockdown. And it's good to see, because that means, you know, some people still have jobs and they can make some money, right? Because they're participating in this. So it's good that the government is still sanctioning the event, I'm assuming. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting next year. Next year is gonna be very interesting, very nice. So hopefully by that time we also know more about if everything will be back to normal. I'm sincerely hoping that everything is back to normal, but you never know what will happen, okay? In another order of ideas, I've been trying to order some more Arches watercolor paper, and this is my favorite watercolor paper. And I've been trying to order on Amazon and on different sites. For some reason, they're out of stock. So I'm starting to freak out because, well, I have a few pads left over, but at the rate that I'm going to be out of it. So I'm eyeballing Amazon to see when they have stuff in stock again. And I'm keeping them in my basket. So I'm like, let me know when it's in stock again. Okay. So this is what I've been doing. So in the meantime, while I was filming, because I don't film with voiceover, right? Because usually YouTube videos that you do without voiceover because you wanna probably speed them up, right? I did a piece very similar to this, and it took me about 2 hours. Let's see how long this one takes me today. So it makes no sense for me to speak, because I will speed that one up to maybe maximum some maximum time. Where do I still have anemone? I have one here. That would be nice to do, and maybe we'll do some leaves or something here and there. Okay, this anemone, I think I still want to do it with the blue, but I need a really small amount. Okay. That means you are going to watch all the flowers nature there. Yes, that means you know what I will do? I will take my pad and I will go there, and it's gonna be so nice because I'll go there with my pad and I'll just draw flowers. I'll just pick a bench, watch some flowers in real, and because it's next to my home, right? So I can technically just pick up my bike and bike there. So I don't come from a different country or anything. And what I'm suspecting is that I will be able to just sit there on a bench, enjoy the flowers, enjoy the nature, like tulips and other stuff. It's gonna be nice. And then I can actually draw some real flowers, like do plein air or something like that. That would be so cool. So anyway, we're still waiting for next year. So I'm hoping you guys had an uneventful week and that everybody was okay. I know I keep forgetting some stuff to do. It was also very busy at work, I have to admit. So Actually, drawing was my only kind of escape when I was finishing with work, because it was finishing with the all day Zoom meetings and then going into making art, which is always better because then I just need to listen to something. So I was listening to some podcasts and documentaries, and I don't need to do much because when you listen to a documentary or a podcast, you don't necessarily need to look up that much. So I could zoom out basically and do that. Okay. Somehow I feel like I should have this is a number 5, so I don't know why I think I should have maybe a smaller brush. This really teaches me brush control, because if you're trying with a very big brush, you're trying to do this, then you will learn how to control it properly. But on another time, this is a live stream, so why would you color this one in? Like, I noticed that lately I'm using a lot of muted colors, and this is really nice. And it kind of fits my style a little bit, right? I always wondered what my style is, and now I'm realizing that actually my style is really muted and darker colors and with flowers, right? So I'm trying really hard to not do the stamen. I don't even know why I bother, because I'll never be able to maneuver around the stamen. Okay, never mind. So now that I know what my style is, I also know that usually what I would do is I would buy lots of colors. I would buy all the colors possible and everything. But now that my style is this and that I am actually enjoying it, then I don't have to buy all these random colors that I know I'll probably never use. I've made my watercolor palette. I'm gonna go a little bit darker here. And I've done my watercolor palette again, and I've actually retired some colors because I knew I was not going to use those colors. So I retired them. I put them, actually I didn't throw them away or anything. I put them on a separate palette for whenever, if ever, I'm going to work with them. And then I kept on my main palette only the colors that I knew are fitting with my current style and with my current, let's say, mood and everything. So yeah, that was me. But on other order of ideas, spring has come. Spring is here. I see the flowers blooming in my garden. It's really nice to watch. So okay, now we have shadow vermilion. Okay, let's try the shadow vermilion for these berries, right? I want the berries all to be kind of similar. So the nice part about this brush is that it has a really pointed tip. It's a round pointed brush, so yeah, it's really nice. What else did we do? Oh yeah, we did play quite some games with my friends this week. I think Friday was game night, so we played a lot of online games like draw this and say what it was or things like that. I think we played quite nice. Was quite enjoyable. Haven't been playing with my friends in a long time, so it was nice to be able to hear from them and play with them. Of course, we use Discord because, well, that's what normal people do in these times. But it's always nice. It's always nice to just play around. Okay, I'm going to try really hard to go around this leaf here. So, what is my style? I was actually trying to find on Etsy people that kind of draw like me, so I can figure out, you know, how do they do the illustrations, how do they do the prints, etc. And what I found is that it's very hard to find somebody that draws like me. I have an illustrative style of watercolor, and a lot of the people out there have a loose watercolor style, which is also nice. I'm not saying it's not nice or that it, right? It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, I tried loose watercolors. For me, if I don't have the black lines, it feels like it's not finished, right? It's just me. It's my preferred style. I'm not saying that everybody should follow my style or anything, right? I remember my husband telling me a story from his university. So my husband finished art university, so he's actually the artist in all of this. And he was telling me that on his university they were almost forbidden to use black lines. They were saying that you're not a proper artist if you're using black, which sounds a bit weird to me, because it's a totally different style and it's a valid style of doing art, right? And the funny part, it's a totally different style because it requires different ratio for the watercolor, different ratio of water to color. It requires maybe proper different planning and you know, thought. So I think it's a different school, and just because you as a professor or as a teacher you don't like that, or you think that that makes anybody less of an artist, I think that is just a lot of bullshit, right? Like, art is like, being an artist doesn't mean that you should only do a certain style. Like if everybody would do that, then the Van Goghs will never have appeared, because they always went against what is culturally and what was at the time accepted as what art is, right? So I'm really not agreeing with this statement, because what makes you an artist is you're making art, and in some people's eyes that what you make is art and it's worth something, right? It's meaningful because it tells them something. They are interpreting it in a certain way, right? You see something and you're like, oh, it's pretty, and it reminds me of when I was in my grandma's garden, and you know, I had all these flowers, and you know, it brings me back there. This is what I think art is, and I don't think art should be bound by anything. Like, if I want to do mixed media, and if I want to start stamping now and use gouache and watercolors together, like, that's my choice, right? Oh yeah, Van Gogh left his art school. Yeah, true. Van Gogh was like, screw this, I'm going I'm going away, I'm going home. You know, he was like, I'm not having this, nobody can tell me what to do. Yeah, he believed in his style. So I don't think that we should all think like, oh, you're making bad art because, I don't know, you're not doing things either realistic or you know, things like that. I'm not doing things realistic, definitely. Okay, it might look like it a little bit, some of the flowers, but they're not realistic, let's be honest. I'm not doing botanical illustrations here. I'm just doing what I believe it's pretty and what I like. I'm doing my style. And to have somebody come and tell me like, oh, your style, you're not an artist if you're doing this style, I think it's a lot of bull crap, to be honest. So yeah, don't don't get me started on this discussion, because I am I'm pretty much against these people. I was watching another artist on YouTube, and he was also saying his experience from art school, and when his teachers were against him doing all these manga things, right? I'm just gonna let them dry, because I tried to add more color here and then it just ran into each other. So just letting them dry, and then we're gonna try more stuff. Actually, I'm going to pick up my other watercolor set. So I have a new set, and this is the graphite tint, and this is not actually watercolor. It's kind of like watercolor, but not really watercolor. It's graphite with ink, so that's why it's called graphite tint, but it behaves kind of like watercolor, so we're just gonna call it like that. Has really really muted colors, right? And actually what I wanted is I wanted this green for some of these leaves, and for this one, which is like an eucalyptus, and this is also some eucalyptus leaves here. And where did I put the eucalyptus leaves? I don't even know. Here I put, because I wanted that type of blue. So you will see now a different color. Like, for example, this will not be considered watercolor, because this is definitely not watercolor. This is more like ink. And then would I react nicely if somebody would tell me, you're not an artist because you're mixing shit up? I'm like, yeah, no, go away. I just don't care about your opinion, right? It's so funny that like it feels like they're into this elitist kind of type of situation, where they want to have an elite small group of people that they call themselves artists, and they want to be the ones calling the shots on who gets to be called an artist, right? But the truth is, if you look also on Etsy, on anything, right now it's a democratization of the internet, and there's so many people selling art and wall art and so on. Like the consumer, the normal person, is not bogged down by what an artist is. Like, if you they just want to have pretty stuff on the wall, which is still art, right? And that's what they're gonna buy. So I think now we are in a more of a consumerism type of art, and I see absolutely no problem in us doing art, because we just like how it looks. Like, I don't like, I saw some artists, some people from work that went to the Rietveld Academy, which is one of the most famous art academy in the Netherlands. They used to work with us, but then they went there, and they were doing this art, like these figures of girls in one stroke or stuff like that. And I always hated that. For me, it tells me nothing, right? Okay, maybe there are people around, and maybe that's why they call it art, because there are people around who think, oh yeah, this is art, this is interesting abstraction, a human body with just a couple of strokes or something, right? I'm not judging them, just saying that I don't particularly like that, and that's fine, right? Like, I don't have to like everything. But the same way as I don't dismiss their stuff as art, I would like for them not to dismiss my things as art and my drawings as art, because, well, that's just petty, right? And you can be an artist, and you don't have to be like, artists grow. I see so many, like, I draw this 10 years from now. It doesn't mean that everybody learns and everybody grows and everybody changes their style. You can't just be all of a sudden an artist and be perfect at everything and go like, yeah, I'm an artist, I was born this way. Nobody is born this way. Let's be honest here. Everybody that is an artist and has been doing this, has been doing art daily, has been you know, trying coloring, trying different mediums, and then doing those bodies and those figures 10 million times a day, right? That's what they do. They just spend time, and they do that every day, right? And let me see if I, so this was a nice green. Okay, now let's try the steel blue here. And to be honest, like, that's fine. But just don't dismiss somebody's art just because it doesn't conform to what you're thinking art should be, because that's just evil, man. Like, we're all humans here. We all have feelings, so yeah, don't be mean. That's all I'm saying. Like, but the funny part is I can draw parallels with software engineering. So I'm a software engineer, and I can definitely draw parallels there. Like, people saying, oh, this programming language, like, you're not a programmer if you're not using this programming language. You're not a programmer if you don't know XYZ, if you don't know all these algorithms. And I'm like, but I make programs, so what am I then? Apprentice programmer, you know? It's such a parallel. Like, I don't know why humans have this need of putting other people down and just saying stupid stuff, right? And I guess that this is true in any other place. I think it doesn't have to be only this one, right? Okay, well, I don't even know if we're gonna finish this, but I'm just trying. What should I do? Okay, reddish black. I'm gonna use reddish black, and I'm going to do some of the roses. Okay, belittling people. What kind of person can you be to do that? So I just hope that people just get inspired by what I do, and they realize that everybody can do this, and everybody can learn. It's not like I'm a singular anything. I just do what my passion is. And it's funny because there's always this discussion that also, like, as a software engineer, you have to be passionate about software engineering. It's very hard to be passionate about software engineering, and I'm not sure you should be passionate about software engineering, because one thing is for it to be your job, right? And then you would pay much more attention. If you're not just doing it because it's a passion, then you can actually pay attention to making things that are for the business, and not always needing to try out new techniques and new things. You're like, no, well, this is what we need to achieve, and this is what we're gonna achieve, right? If you're gonna go now, and like, I am very passionate about it, I'm taking my time with my art because I'm passionate about it, and I like it, and it gives me pleasure. So I'm taking my time. I don't care that it takes longer, that my Etsy shop is still not live or things like that. Like, I don't care, because I want it to be perfect. I want it to be there. But when you're in another job and then you're being asked to be passionate about it, I'm like, oh, do you actually know what you're asking of them? Because passion and actually diligence and being good at the job, they're not necessarily the one and the same thing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna end up with a bunch of people that are very passionate, and they're gonna go into these philosophical discussions about things that don't even matter, right? And then you get somebody that actually, no, this is my job, I'm doing this, we need to achieve this, we need to make money, right? And then you can think out of the box and you can get out of the, oh, but we need to try out this new technology or this new cool thing. And it's the same, I guess, with artists. Some artists do very well in life, I think. And they can gain lots of money and they can even gain fame. But I think that's because they separated themselves from the passion. So they still do passion stuff. They still do things that, art for themselves, like, in a way. But I do believe that the parts where they are successful, they just treat it like a business. Okay? So, because otherwise you can't live out of it. You can't, like, do it. Like, if you would be an artist that would be, like, very passionate about art and, trying out new things, and you're gonna do, like, really lots of experiments and lots of crazy stuff, who's gonna buy that thing from you, right? Who's going to get that one? So, and that is why I'm considering this is my passion, right? I'm not considering it as a job. Then I can take my time, I can make things as I want them, I don't care that maybe I only have a small niche of people that like what I do, right? Because I don't actually, it's just my passion, it's just my hobby. I don't actually have to live from it. You know what I mean? But I think things go wrong when you mix the two, and that's why, well, I always had this conversation with people also in software engineering that I think you don't want to have a person. There was also this other question, like, you have to contribute to projects, on the outside, you have to do open source. And I'm like, just like with videos, right? Let's put it this way, making videos for YouTube. And I don't want young people to come and like, you ask some young people, what do you want to become? Oh, why not become a YouTuber? Sure. But this is like, there's a lot of time that is sinking into this job, right? Like, editing videos and everything takes a lot of time. Like, do not think that you can just do it like that and, oh, we'll just make a video and, we'll be famous or something. It's hours upon hours. It will become your job, right? If you want to become that. So there is no, like, baking your cake and eating it in the same time kind of situation here. There's no easy way, right? And unless you're one of the very lucky few that has had a viral video, which I still don't know how. I mean, the most viral videos right now are those crappy 5-minute craft stuff that are just scams. Like, I was watching how many millions of views are for some videos that are just scammy, man. They're just lying. That, like, sometimes the titles don't even match what they are showing in the video, but all of those hacks and all of the stuff that they're doing is just a scam. It just doesn't work. It's a waste of time. But for some reason, they cracked the code, and this is what annoys me, is that they're, like, real content creators are, like, struggling, and these people are just making channels upon channels with same content that for some reason, YouTube wants to promote them. And I'm not gonna talk for that, but yeah. So that's why, if you're an artist and if you're, like, thinking, how do I live from art? First of all, you have to make sure that you have your bills paid out, and then then you can think about something else. Then you can think about other things, Like, don't bog yourself down with um, with things like, I need to take off from my day job to become an artist, and I'll become famous on YouTube because I quit. I'm like, yeah, you know that thingy where you oh yeah, the thingy with follow your dreams. It's all onto you to go and follow your dreams, and you can make this happen. And all you need to do is quit your job that you don't have a passion for right now, and follow your passion, like this kind of bullshit spewing things. And I'm always like don't do that. You still have to live. You still have there are so many conditions, like, yeah, follow your dream depending on your age, depending what you have people depending on you, like if you have a family depending on you, if you have like people that you need to actually have you need to put bread on your table, like, do you have money set aside? Things don't just happen because you quit your job and you're gonna follow your dream now, and wondrous things all of a sudden is going to happen. That is such a bullshit thing, and I hate this mentality of these gurus that like motivational gurus. Oh yes, it all is on you, it all depends on you, and you can make things happen, and you just have to take your life in your own hands and do random shit. And I'm like, that just makes people wanna quit and then try it out and then crash and burn, right? And then their family's gonna be left without without food and without anything. Like, yeah, okay, I understand, packing your bags and doing what you want and following your dream. If you just finish university, 22 years old or 23, you have nothing to lose, right? You have nothing to lose. You anyway probably don't have money. Even then, you should think of, how am I going to survive the next 6 months, right? Am I able to support myself and do that? The same thing with artists, like, and even here in Holland, used to have a friend that he got fired on the previous crisis, and he was like, the UWV, or the guys that give you money when you are unemployed, right? They have these conditions when you're unemployed. You either have to apply for jobs, and you have to prove that you applied for jobs, fine, or you can open yourself a company, right, and become self-employed and try to get money or try to get stuff. And they push people onto that, and I'm like, how can you push people on something like that when you know that it's not so easy? Like, a person that was just employed doesn't have a network, like, oh yeah, open you're talented in this, or you can do this, so you can open a company. And I'm like, opening a company, it's a big deal. It's not such a tiny deal that you would go like, sure, it will be fine, should work, and I'm going to get clients right away, especially in the middle of the crisis. And this is what I find, like, these self-motivational guys and everybody is like spewing this bullshit that they never tried themselves, right? They don't know what they're talking about, and they're spewing all this nonsense, and they're like, yeah, sure, open up, and then you'll be able to live from. And I'm always a little bit like, hell no. Like, people need to make like really informed decision, and they need to have a plan, and they need to decide that is their plan. They can't just go out there with no plan, no nothing whatsoever, like, oh, let me find my passion. I'm like, That's gonna take you a long time to find for most people, right? It's not gonna be an easy job to do. So yeah, we ended up talking about motivational gurus. I keep getting pestered on Facebook with this Jay Shetty. I don't know if you guys get pestered by him. I always have this guy. I hate this guy. He's just spewing nonsense. Like he has these motivational videos that look on the surface look kind of okayish, right? But it's basically what he's basically spewing is that everything bad in life is because you didn't take action or you didn't do this. So everything that is happening to you, this guy is saying that it is because basically you suck. And I hate this kind of, because he's also telling it very subtle, right? It's not like he's telling you outright, but you just have to listen to what he says, and then you realize like all of this stuff that he's portraying is like bullshit, because it's not what it's supposed to be. And yeah, I think we need to maybe take a little bit good care of ourselves. And what's wrong with being comfortable in the position that you are? What's wrong with being comfortable at the job that you have? Like, you don't always have to go higher and higher and higher, right? Like, we all have to be better. We always have to do something different. We always have to, I don't know. It's not what I would advise people. Let's do purplish black. I'll do this rose, okay? I keep talking here. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, let me know. Basically, I'm putting with just the tip of my brush, I'm putting basically paint down, but because this is such a concentrating paint, I just have to go in with my clean brush and pull things around. And then if I wanna later on do something different, then I can do that. I can add always, when it's dry, I can add more depth. That's not a problem, right? Always remember that when you do the second layer or whatever, third layer, let the other layer underneath dry out, right? If there's any tip I need to give you guys and girls that are watching, this is like the most important thing. What else happened? My cats went a bit crazy. They were playing around and jumping everywhere. And when I was filming yesterday, my male cat was sitting on my art. He was trying to eat my brush. And he was like, well, mommy, you are ignoring me. So, I'm going to make sure that, you notice me when I'm here. So he was like really, really naughty. So I had to pick him up a couple of times to put him aside, and then he just came back, and he was stepping in my paints. And now, even today, he has his paws with blue, because I had lots of blue on my palette, and I was like, where did you get the blue from? And then I realized, oh yeah, you're getting the blue from the palette. And he was trying to clean his paws, and he couldn't, poor guy. I was like, this is what happens, Hup, when you're playing with mommy's stuff and you're not paying attention. Mommy's telling you not to put your paws in there, but you're no. I am naughty and I'm putting my paws in. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I was actually considering if I should stream on Twitch and then paste the Twitch stream on here. But I don't know how many of you are actually watching streams on Twitch. I'm just wondering. This is a nice purple, right? This is not a red purple. This is more a purple towards blue. It's a nice color. Maybe I should use it for this flower as well. I'm just thinking, or maybe I should just do the berries. I have 3 berries and basically 3 colors. I'm trying not to do the petals that touch each other too much, because then the color will run from one petal to each other, and I'm just waiting for some petals to just dry out before I go in with the color. So, streaming on Twitch. Maybe I'll stream my gaming there. My World of Warcraft gaming, that would be fun. I am playing sometimes. Marlena, thank you for the thumbs up. I guess you like it, huh? So far. I'm hoping you're liking it. We're just gonna try to finish it today. It's gonna be a longer stream, so you know, for those of you that watch me tomorrow, you know, feel free to put the stream on twice the speed or something, because you know, it's important. You notice that I'm leaving some white here, and this is important because you don't want the composition to become way too hard. Okay, so this one's, which color should I do? Should I actually do this one? I wonder, shadow purple, how does it look like? Is shadow purple a different type? Ooh. Oh, almost lost my stuff. Almost lost my brush. Okay. It's a bit different. It's more reddish purple, but it's also a nice color. I'm gonna do this peony here. But in another way, you know, although I don't particularly enjoy doing loose watercolor, I think in the end I'm still going to do some videos around it, because I still want to learn. You know, maybe once I learn how to properly do everything, you know, and I try it a couple of times, maybe then I'm going to start to like it. You never know. So I'm gonna maybe start with something easier, and then going later on. What I like is I like collaborations, and actually I'm going to do a collaboration on my next live stream. And I like to collaborate with people because I like to actually color in designs from other people. And one of the people that I really enjoy coloring is my husband. So because my birthday is coming up right now, very soon, he's been making me some presents, and the presents are some nice drawings that he did in his style that I am allowed to color in, and I can do it live. So that is always a nice collaboration that I have with him. We were actually thinking what should be our name, because you know, every artist collective, they have these fancy names, right? Like especially when two artists collaborate together, they go and they create their own artist name, like I don't know, the Artist Collective XYZ. So I'm always wondering what should be our name. We need to be called something, because we do collaborate quite a lot, so it's always nice. Oh wow, this is such a beautiful color, and I think I need to make this other peony the same. Wow, this shadow purple, amazing. And then I'm going to deepen the middle one. And then technically we only have this and this and this flower, and then the berries. Okay, how's everybody doing? Are you still following me rambling here? Maybe this is gonna be a super rambling video of 3 hours or something. Would be fun. So apologies in advance. I just really like to color in. Just relaxes me. So I'm only putting the color there where it will be the darkest. And then I'm gonna just clean my brush. And then I'm going to come with a clean brush. Cannot wait to see what you do with the colors. Oh, now you're setting me up for worrying about what will I do with the colors. Yeah, I still have to think about berries. Yeah, Johan, colors. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I have an idea in my mind, which I need to test beforehand. I have an idea. I'm not worried about the dude. What I'm worried about is the background, and not worried, but I have a specific idea in mind for the background that I wanted to do. So let's hope that it actually works out. Okay. Remember, watercolors, no matter where they are, they will always dry out lighter than what you expect. So even though I put quite a lot of color there, I expect it's going to be quite lesser colorful when it dries out. Hence why I am adding even more color. Except this kind of colors, which for some reason have also ink in them, so we're gonna have to be very careful what we do. I'm picking up some of the color on my brush, okay? I'm not letting it all be the same, because I want it to the color to be focused. And what I've been doing is I've been watching tutorials online, because I have a specific technique in mind, and I want to find a tutorial that will teach me how to do that. Guess what? That specific technique that I had in my mind, there is no tutorial for it. Not with watercolors anyway. So I might need to just invent it. Oh, Jesus. I'm so clumsy tonight. I am just like losing my stuff. So I was planning also a nice spread in the following weeks, which is more of a spring flowers. Let's do spring flowers. That would be awesome. So, you know, I guess everybody's a bit tired of roses and peonies and stuff by now. So we're gonna do some spring flowers, and spring flowers have very nice colors always. So Shadow blue. No, not shadow blue. Purplish black. Okay. What else has happened in the last? I'm just wondering if I remember what has happened. There's so many things. I've started to diet. Yes, interesting. I think the winter period has made me a bit more complacent. So I started my keto diet. I used to do keto before. I stopped for a while and now I'm starting it again. And you know, as always with keto, the first 2 weeks are always hard and then you get used to it. So I've been meal prepping and today we did a peanut butter bread. My husband did the peanut butter bread. Last time I tried to do peanut butter bread, I messed it up because I put it in a very tall bread tray, and the middle, even after more than an hour in the oven, the middle didn't want to set. Don't ask me why, what happened. I had to scoop out the middle because the exterior was super crispy and the middle was a little bit like not that nice. Okay, I just want to finish these ones to deepen the colors, right? So the gyms and everything are still closed, so I'm really happy that I was able to walk yesterday. It's my piece of exercise, and 9 kilometers is not something to scoff about. It's quite nice, but next time maybe I'll just do 5. 9 kilometers is quite a long way to go. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what happened yesterday. Yeah, so we were staying by the lake. We stayed on the grass for a bit just to rest our legs. And there was this guy on the boat on the lake, which we think that he was doing weed or something. Anyway, the music was live on the boat, like this rave music. And the guy was dancing on the front of the boat on his own. And the boat was just walking about, and this boat was dragging another smaller boat in the back. And I was like, I just don't understand, what is this guy doing? Why is he like, yeah, it's so funny. We actually filmed it because he was so funny. He was just having fun, I guess. I don't know, like, yeah, okay, people need to have fun. It was nice weather. He was like, I have a boat and I'm gonna go on the lake. So why not, if you can have a boat and afford one? I always dream of a boat. I know people dream of a car. Don't know why people dream of a car. Cars are nothing special. I don't have a car. I don't think I need a car. But a boat, on the other hand, a boat I would definitely go for. Like whenever I would be able to afford one. Because a boat, like, it allows you to go on every river. It's fun. You can go fishing. You can go do stuff. Like, why not, man? Why not? So, boats are fun. Can you imagine how fun it will be to go on the lake? Oh, man. Okay, so what I'm noticing is this. I have this flower and this flower, and I want them to be a different tone. So I want them to be yellow. And the only decent yellow that I have is on this graphite tint one, because the other yellows that I have on the shadow colors are more towards towards green for some reason. So okay, I'm just going to have to rotate this one. Hope you guys are still with me. So I'm gonna rotate this one to be on my side here, because then it's closer by and it's easier for me to put my hands and to do this. So I'm going to put the tiniest amount of this color, of this yellow, exactly where it will be the most need. And then I'm going to come with a clean brush and spread the color around. You can notice that I'm not used to having makeup, but for videos purposes I always do makeup. Oh yeah, I remember I did once makeup at work and then I forgot I had makeup, and then I was rubbing my eyes, and then that was not fun, man. I always forget makeup and then I pretend like I don't have any makeup. I don't do it often enough to remember it. Okay, now I think this is the most makeup I've done in years with the streams. So it's always very funny. Okay, I think this is light. I cannot do it. Okay, I know you can do it. Yes. Thank you, Johan. You have a lot of trust in me with your masterpiece there. And I'm saying with your masterpiece because it's truly nice and beautiful. And you're trusting me with it, so no pressure there. No pressure. I just have to do a good job, and during a live stream that's going to be fun. Why do I always choose the hardest projects during live streams, man? It's so funny. But I want to do it because I haven't done a piece, I haven't done a collaboration in like a long time, so I really want to do it. What would be my dream thing that I can do? I would like to have a watercolor coloring book, but you know, not like those watercolor coloring book that you buy, because I bought a few. Let's be honest, I bought a few. I just wanted to see how it is, but those watercolor papers are really, really, really bad, and I really couldn't understand how they could call that piece of crap watercolor paper. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't, like, that was really not bad watercolor paper. But I was thinking if somehow I could make them myself, or I could source from somewhere good watercolor paper, or you know, collaborate with somebody and then actually make a good watercolor coloring book, because I think a lot of people would like to color in watercolor, and this is something that I've noticed myself in the past. I always was drawn to watercolor. It's really nice, but my problem was not watercoloring, because watercolor is not that difficult. Let's be honest, it's not that complicated. What is complicated is drawing. So the drawing is the one that actually hits first, because you need to know how to draw before you do something, because watercolors are you need to know how to draw, right? So initially when I first started, I didn't know how to draw. I didn't know how to draw flowers. Let's be honest, I've been studying them. I'm not yet super good at them. And I almost gave up, because like doing two things in the same time, learning how to draw something and then like also learning how to watercolor, can be quite daunting, right? So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watercolor this nice lighthouse with a sea and so on, and I'm like, I couldn't get I think I remember struggling for like 2 hours to get the proportions right for the damn lighthouse, and then I just gave up because it's just not worth it anymore. So that's why I wanted to do that, but I have no idea how to search something like that. I saw somebody on Instagram, they were offering for sale for a very limited number of people this kind of pages, but you know, hand drawn. So I would take a piece of this good paper, like Arches watercolor paper, and I would trace all of this, right? And then I would sell it, and then you can watercolor it yourself, right? I have my doubts on that. So yeah. Let's do some more of the leaves, and then we'll see where we are at. In the other order, I am working on my Etsy store, so stay tuned for when that opens. And there might be even more stores than just one, but we'll see. Interesting facts that I'm finding with suppliers and everything. So I also have to decide. The point is my designs are quite particular for certain things, and I'm not sure that they necessarily would work well on everything, like t-shirts and stuff. So I will have to decide where would my designs be printed on. I'm using the greenish black this time, but then I will use different greens. The meadow maybe I'll use for other stuff. We are officially 1 hour in, so this is quite nice. If you're wondering what's the hardest stuff about starting an Etsy shop and so on, is figuring out all the legal stuff around it, I would say. Like who pays for taxes, what happens when... maybe I just have to start with it and not be bogged down by it. And okay. What I like and what I notice nowadays to make my designs much more interesting is to use different type of color leaves, because that makes it like super nice and super, I don't know, lively, I would say. Lively, yes. So I'm really trying to hold my... oh, what did I do? Really trying to hold my hand up so I don't touch any of the possible wet surfaces here. Greenish black, and then I'll do shadow green later on. What else do I miss in lockdown? Usually I get my inspiration from the outside world. So, you know, I go to botanical gardens to make pictures and other places. So It's a bit of a bummer now that we can't, because my inspiration is starting to wane a bit. Although, to be fair, I haven't gone to all my pictures from my previous trips to Romania, where I made lots of pictures of flowers, so I'll probably just start curating that and working with that. Dun, dun, dun. So these flowers also need to, these leaves needs to also be the same color. I still haven't decided what color should I do this flower. It's probably going to be in the pinks or in the reds category. I think the pink, the shadow pink, will be the best for this one. You see how this goes along, right? So I'm picking the flowers that are looking very similar, and I'm doing them in the same color. So which one would that be left? I would say not that one. These ones look very similar, so you know, I'll just do them like that. And when you first put this color, it's very dark, but it's okay. Let me position myself better so I can do it. These are like, draw with me. Draw with me. The nicest part of this would be if you guys are also drawing in the same time or watercoloring in the same time, so we can all feel like it's a community here. This is more like a sage color, don't you think? Like this shadow green. Okay. It's very difficult to go around the berries, but we're gonna make it. Gonna make it happen. So what I'm doing is I'm cleaning my brush in water, and then I'm dabbing it on a piece of tissue paper that I have right next to me. This way I can, you know, make things better. This one. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna do shadow green, which is a bit of a different type of green, for all these leaves that have lines in them. Okay, and this one I forgot to do with this color, but let's just do shadow green on this, and then we're gonna do this flower and this flower. Then we're one step closer. Shadow green. It's gonna be a little bit more oomph. And this, I forgot a petal there. It's okay. Wow, this is a much richer color. It's a richer green. Again, putting the green where only where this is going to work. And you see how it brings everything to light, because I'm using different colors for the leaves, and then it creates this kind of depth, much nicer depth, right? You guys can let me know if you're still with me so that I don't have to No, it's not that color. It's not the shadow purple. Is it a purplish black? Yeah, it's the purplish black. Okay. Now, let's go back to the shadow green. Let's do some more leaves. I think these leaves are nice for shadow green. Johan likes the colors of the leaves, which is good. It's very good. So, you notice that these colors that I'm using, these are not, you can't say they're necessarily professional watercolors or anything, but that's okay, because the most important thing is the paper and it's not the color. I mean, you could do this with a Prang or with the Crayola watercolors and it will still look pretty nice. So, you know, don't get bogged down by that. Shadow green. Okay, now again I will have to turn this one around because I really need to get this. And I did it dry? Yeah, it did dry. Okay, let us do this like this. The problem with the Prang and the Crayola is that they will be more opaque, but that's okay, because theoretically then you could make things from one layer only. So then you don't have to worry about, you know, because they will be quite opaque, so you can get a nice variation. But if you're gonna use cheap watercolors with cheap paper, then don't expect any results, to be honest. Don't expect anything to come out of that, because it will look pretty crappy. Oh man, what did I do? Why did I put this leaf behind everything? It's so hard to get it. Okay, shadow green, and then I wanted to have more warmer, some more warmer leaves as well, right, all around here. So I'm going to use from the Derwent palette. Okay. Warmer greens is what I call greens mixed with like yellow. That is for me a warmer green. And those are really nice as well. But don't have to. Okay, so far so good. You know what my biggest problem is? Watercoloring so far away from my head is that I don't see that good. I don't see that good. I might actually make mistakes here. Go above the lines. It's okay. Is there anything else that I should do with maybe the greenish black? Yeah, here's one with greenish black, and then we go with a lighter color all around here. Some people have asked me why I don't do digital work. And I have no idea. I do have an iPad. I do very little digitally. For some reason, this one relaxes me. Don't know why. Could it be that because I am doing stuff with technology the whole day at work, that I'm thinking I just want to do something non-technological, right? Could very well be. I don't know. I like more this type of media than the iPad, but maybe it's also because I haven't spent enough time with it, so maybe I just don't know. Oh man, wearing makeup and trying to scratch your nose, it's like old stuff. Trying to do things. Okay. Dun dun dun. Okay, that's nice. That's good. Later on, after the stream, I'll probably going to deepen up some colors. I really need to turn this one around because this yellow flower I can't do in this direction. It's a bit weird to do it like that, but I want to do the leaves, and the leaves I want to do with really a really warm color. So I'll do this like this. This is the shadow yellow, and I'll, for the other type of leaves, I'll do the meadow. Whenever I hear the word meadow, I'm thinking of Katniss Everdeen and the Hunger Games, and how you know, they were in the meadow when Rue happened to be taken out of the competition, so to say. So this is what I think when I'm thinking meadow. I don't know why. Must be crazy. So shadow yellow. You see, it says that it's shadow yellow, but actually it's yellow green. Let's not kid ourselves here. This is yellow green. What might happen sometimes is that I also leave a piece till next day, because then next day I can see what are the things that I need to fix or contribute more or deepen more. So I might not actually, I do this kind of colors right now, right? But I might not finish it up right now because of this. So I'm going to do also these ones like this. That one I'll do last. You might wonder why, and that's because I want to finish this part. And I'm actually considering what to do with this fancy leaves. Let's try this. The tiny leaves. I do them kind of yellowish, and I'll do with red the tiny berries here and there. Yellow and red. Now, what I think this will be nice is the red, this flower. Okay. This is graphite vermilion, I think it's called. It's a really pretty color. And I really want to use the tip of my brush to go around everything. So dun. Okay, look how beautiful this is. You can spread it around and it's like amazing. I'm gonna do not petals that touch each other so that I don't have this issue. So I'm gonna do petals that are next to each other, and then I'm gonna do the rest of the petals. Okay. The difference with this graphite tint is that you need to be a bit faster than normal. Otherwise it will dry out. It does dry out pretty fast. It's not permanent, so you can still reactivate it with water. If you scrub enough, you'll be fine. Okay. It's really nice. So not that petal, and this petal then. Wow. I actually was able to go around it. I am sometimes surprising myself how good I am. Okay, so let's talk about another story. When I was young, my father, he tried to get me to sing. So my father was having a band, so he was singing at weddings and stuff like that. And the funny part was a lot of the young kids that were from his bandmates were also, you know, their fathers were trying to get them to become musicians as well, and you know, they were starting to play around. So I guess, you know, with my parents, always had been a little bit. Also, my mom was doing beautiful drawings and beautiful watercolors. So, and then he tried to get me to sing. And then he always assumed that I couldn't sing. But my problem was I was super shy. I was young and I was very shy. And that's not a good thing to be when you want to be a singer. I just couldn't utter any words whenever I was on stage. And I was always going with him when he had his rehearsals and stuff. Nothing came out of it. And then when I was in school, we were doing music in school, so I was doing actually quite good. My music teacher was saying, yeah, there's no problem with your voice. My dad was always quite surprised because he thought, but I thought you couldn't sing and stuff. And I was like, no, I just had a problem with being very shy. I had no problem with singing, right? But I'm really enjoying doing actually art and watercolor much more than singing. I guess singing is a much more involved activity, I would say. I wouldn't like to be a singer, to be honest. I think that would be terrible. Especially now in the pandemic. I mean, okay, there are a few singers that are really good and they probably make lots of monies and they have a band and they can survive this because they made millions before and so on. But man, majority of artists that you see on Spotify, they maybe have a few thousand views or a few thousand stuff. So I honestly doubt that they are making any living money, and they probably have to, have a second job like in a supermarket or something, just to make ends meet. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. But yeah, I don't think singer would have been my cup of tea. Okay. I want you to do the center with yellow. And I want you to do this center maybe with yellow as well. Okay. Okay. The center of the peony. And these other centers. These ones. These are the centers of the anemone. Okay. Some more shadow yellow. There's 2 leaves here that I forgot. And it's this one and this one. So I'll just do them now. And then I'll turn the paper. And I hope you notice that I forgot to do something. And what I forgot is I forgot to change the camera angle. Although I have it set it up, but I forgot to change it. So maybe we'll just change the camera angle for the last piece. So let me just add. Okay. So let's turn this around. This already looks really nice, I have to say. And let's see how the other side looks like. Oh no. Now you see the mess, okay? I'm not gonna try to do it. Now you saw the mess of my of my desk. The part that I didn't want you guys to see. The mess was revealed. The mess was revealed. Okay, never mind. I don't know what's happening. I had my phone because I was filming and I forgot to actually put it on the charger, and then the phone died. And ever since it died, it just doesn't wanna do stuff anymore. So I'll just figure it out later on. I am doing now the yellow. Yes, and I'm a cola addict. You guys saw it. I can't deny it anymore. I'm an addict, I know. But it's no caffeine. I'm actually more of an addict of the bubble, because this is no sugar, no caffeine cola. So basically doesn't have anything. But I think I'm more addicted to the bubbles, which might be why I'm doing this. So maybe I should delete that part. You guys saw the hidden mess, the hidden mess behind the scene. Oh no, I'm never gonna hear the end of this. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna go like, what did Claudia do Why did Claudia show us that mess? So I'm letting the flowers, the turning part, I'm letting them white. Not gonna touch. I like them to have some color. So this is the last flower, and then we're gonna do the remainder of the leaves. Okay, I think this leaf is with shadow green, and then we're gonna deepen some colors whenever they need it. Berries, yeah, berries are left. Just thinking right now how to do the berries. So definitely some berries will be purple. That's most of the time. Let's try with this green. This is called steel green. It's really nice blue green, man. For that part, really liked it. Let's do shadow green. Now you can see kind of how long some of these pieces take, and you can understand then why some of the artists are having the need to put, you know, competitive prices on it. Because if you think about it, how much money do you make an hour, right? And then knowing that, can you think of any way of like, this is how you need to think of, right? So you spend hours on making an like, it took me 2 hours to make this, right? To make the drawing, and then it took me another 2 hours to color it in. So 4 hours in total. 4 hours in total where I didn't do anything else. So, you know, it's like half a day. I had, oh yeah, on my first Etsy shop, I had my first ever Etsy shop together with my husband. And we were doing digital designs. And we were selling them for like €5, like patterns that you can print and you can use in your card making or anything else, right? And I had a colleague who was looking at this, and he was quite angry a little bit with us, like, oh, but why would you sell that design for €5? And I'm like, well, it's a pack with actually 10 designs, right? 10 drawings, so it's a pack. And he was like, yeah, but that's easy to do. I'm like, are you sure that's easy to do? Like, this takes me hours upon hours to actually create. So if indeed that was such an easy thing to do, then everybody would do it, right? Like, maybe the designs themselves are not that hard, but still it takes time to do. And this is where the problem is, right? People just look at the design and they're thinking, oh, I can do that, I can draw that, then why is this so expensive? And I'm like, because of the time, man. Time, right? Time, and time that you put into honing your craft, and time that you put into, you know, learning new flowers or learning new things, right? It's just time. And you can't just say, well, but that's an easy design, right? So why are you selling it for €5. And you're like, well, you have to sell it, you have to pay taxes over it, you have to pay everything. And then out of those €5, I think only profit is about €1, €1.50, because of all the other stuff that you have to pay, like material and stuff. And I always found that a weird thing from people to dismiss the work that artists do, just because they think what we do, it's a simple thing, right? Just because something looks simple doesn't mean that it didn't take you hours upon hours to make it look simple, right? It just means that I have maybe spent equal amount of hours trying to figure out how to draw something, right? And trying to figure out how to do something. And yeah, that's not something that either one of us can do. Okay, I'm going to use some more nice purples, and I'm going to do the berries here. This is gonna be purple berry, then I'm gonna do red berry, and then this is gonna be red berry, and this is going to be maybe a different color. We'll think about pink. Okay, berries really require a smaller brush, and I apologize in advance. I'm gonna take a number 1 because I need a number 1. We're on the home stretch. Like I said, what I will do is usually in the morning I have a look at the piece again, and I usually correct, like I deepen colors that needs to be deepened and so on. During and it's always a good idea. You need some distance from the piece, because now I got used to it, and I do not see where things don't necessarily match up. You could say that you become blind to it in a way. So that is why you need to be extremely careful and not hurry it, right? So even if you say, yeah, but it took me 2 hours to color, so what's an extra half an hour, right? What's an extra half an hour to those 2 hours of coloring? It's important to take rest, and it's important to take distance from your artwork, because if you don't, you're gonna continue doing in your own mistakes. Usually, I think a lot of very famous artists are doing this as well. You know, they work on a piece and then they leave it, they work on a new piece, and then they come back to it a week or 2 later. And this is how, with fresh eyes, basically, you look at the problem with fresh eyes. So this is gonna be red. And I'm gonna do red. I mean, don't you have the same thing with any other job that you do? Isn't it better sometimes to just look at a job, at a task with fresh eyes the next day? Sometimes you're too tired, or sometimes you just can't do it anymore. And, you know, it's not necessarily worth it to continue onto that path. So, for example, I've been coloring today since around 12. I haven't stopped. I only stopped to eat. So I've been at it for a very long time. So I might not see things. I might not see where I need to deepen the colors. I think I'm seeing these ones, but I think I need some lines in the leaves, and I need some more, you know, white things and so on. Look how beautiful this red looks with the green. Wow, this is just beautiful. Right, I need to add some more white and some other colors just to balance things out. It's always good to just start fresh, new day. Do not overdo it, because if you overdo it, then your passion will become like a job for you. Then it's not gonna be fun anymore. And then what you gonna do? Then you're just gonna do things that sell, or things that other people like, and you're not gonna want to spend the time. Okay, I am the most happy about these berries, to be honest. This, like, okay, the purple is also nice here, but like this red against this type of leaves is amazing. And I'm gonna do these berries also with this red, because wow, I'm so impressed with it. Sorry that I'm doing too many berries red, but it is what it is. I think I found a new favorite color combination that I would do. I don't even need to wet my brush. I mean, my brush is a number one, but I don't need to necessarily always wet my brush. It's okay. You just scrub the color in. I'm gonna add some more color here to this side where the shadows would be. Look how pretty this is, isn't it? This is amazing. And I'm gonna do this in a weird color, which is more of a blue. If you would do loose watercolors, you would try to balance things out with white flowers and different things, right? But we're not doing that type of watercolors. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it dry thoroughly, right? And I'm just going to call it a day today. If you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, because I'm gonna post the finished piece. And what I'm going to do probably is there are some leaves that I want to finish here and there, and there are some decorations that I will do on the flowers and on the leaves, and deepening of some shadows and so on. So this is what I'm going to do, and you know, add some white details here and there, because some of the highlights have disappeared, and this is what I'm going to do. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want to see the picture of this one, like how it will be finished. So let's recap. What did I use today? I used the Derwent graphite tint ones, and the shadow and black colors from Boku. Really nice colors, really nice things that I'm really liking how this turned out. It does need my signature dots and everything, but I don't trust myself right now because I'm a little bit too tired to continue. Okay, but tomorrow is another day. We can definitely continue, and I can definitely do some great things. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been awesome, and thank you for following me now. Okay. Thank you, Johan, and thank you, Marlena. Good night, Marlena. Sleep tight, and I hope it's not too cold where you are. By us, it's starting to get really nice and warm, so that's nice. Yeah. Thank you, Laura and Adriana, for joining as well. And see you guys next time. Bye.